You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Friday, September 13th. Good evening, I'm Chris Palermo. Here's what's happening. A vehicle fire occurred around 2 p.m. today, engulfing a Jeep in flames. News 25 has more on this story.
On Friday, September 13th at approximately 2:19 p.m., Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Dispatch received a report of a vehicle fire near the intersection of Wilson Road and East Street here in Pahrump. Upon arrival, crews discovered a Jeep with its engine compartment completely engulfed in flames. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue quickly took action, putting the fire out. The cause of fire is still currently under investigation, and there were no injuries reported. News 25 will update you when more information becomes available.
And yesterday, September 12th, a water line busted near Calvada. Today, a second water line busted a few hundred feet away from the first on Acoma Ave. Anthony Roberts has more.
Today, Friday, September 13th, around 8:30 a.m., a second water line break was reported at the corner of Acoma Avenue and Omaha Street. This second break was just a few hundred feet away from the first break, which occurred yesterday evening. Luckily, the water was quickly turned off after being reported. As of 9 a.m. today, Floyd Construction and Great Basin have been on the scene working to fix the broken line. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has the number 1 lane of Highway 160 shut down due to water and debris.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Nevada has initiated legal action against Nye County, alleging that the county violated state law and the Nevada Constitution by prohibiting an ACLU observer from overseeing the 2024 presidential preference primary. The lawsuit, filed on Tuesday in the 5th Judicial District Court, claims that Nye County refused to allow Jacob Smith, an ACLU attorney, to observe key aspects of the primary process, including voting, ballot handling, and ballot processing. According to the ACLU, the denial was based on Smith's status as a nonpartisan observer, despite there being available space for observation. The ACLU contends that Nye County's actions contravened both state regulations and unconstitutional provisions designed to ensure transparency in the electoral process. This is a developing story, and News 25 will have more on this case in next week's newscast. More news now. An abandoned structure here in Pahrump caught fire this week, and Anthony Roberts has more.
On Thursday, September 12th, a structure fire occurred shortly after 3 p.m., just north of Industrial Road. Upon arrival, fire crews discovered an abandoned structure fully engulfed in flames. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue assessed the scene and quickly began extinguishing the fire. According to reports, signs of squatting was observed inside the abandoned structure. Fortunately, there was no one inside the abandoned structure at the time of the fire. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation.
And a South Carolina man has been arrested in Las Vegas for making terroristic threats at the airport in Las Vegas.
A South Carolina man was arrested on Monday, September 9th after making alarming threats at the Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. Jared Peeler, age 35, was taken into custody following an incident that occurred at the Alaskan Airlines ticket counter. Witnesses and airport staff reported that Peeler became agitated when he was informed that a direct flight to South Carolina was unavailable. After requesting assistance with his booking, Peeler grew increasingly upset and began cursing at multiple individuals. An Alaskan Airlines supervisor subsequently asked him to leave, but Peeler refused. According to reports, Peeler then continued making threatening remarks, including statements such as, "If I was a terrorist, I would blow this place up and come back and shoot this bleep." These comments prompted employees to call for police assistance. During questioning by detectives, Peeler claimed that he was in Las Vegas to place a sports bet but had attempted to buy a ticket to South Carolina at a Delta counter and was refused service due to lack of identification. Peeler asserted that he comes from money and expressed the frustration over waiting. He later denied making the threatening statements, insisting that he only said, "Good thing I am not a terrorist and I am not going to blow up the airport." Peeler has been charged with making terroristic threats and is scheduled to appear in court on November 14th. The investigation into this incident is still ongoing.
More local stories coming up. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
And welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. The owner of a Nevada internet company has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for drug money. Rory Rosell has more.
A Las Vegas businessman has been sentenced to 5 years in federal prison following his conviction in a major money laundering and fraud case. Martin Mizrahi, age 53 and founder of the Las Vegas internet company LV.net, has been convicted after a 12-day trial earlier this year. The jury found Mizrahi guilty of multiple charges including wire fraud, bank fraud, money laundering, and aggravated identity theft. The case revealed that Mizrahi was involved in defrauding banks and credit card companies of nearly $8 million and laundering $4 million in drug money through Bitcoin. Prosecutors linked Mizrahi's laundering activities to a Mexican drug cartel and said that additional funds were obtained through a business email compromise scheme. Mizrahi has also racked up nearly $8 million in fraudulent transactions through his company, according to officials. Despite the overwhelming existence of the jury verdict, Mizrahi has constantly maintained his innocence. Prosecutors contended that Mizrahi was fully aware of the criminal nature of the money he was handling. Initially, they sought out a harsher sentence exceeding 12 years, but the judge ultimately said a 5-year term was allegedly enough. In addition to his prison sentence, Mizrahi will face 2 years of supervised release following his incarceration. He has also been ordered to pay $50,000 in fines and forfeit $4.5 million. Mizrahi is required to surrender to the Bureau of Prisons by December 2nd.
And continuing our coverage of the 9/11 Remembrance, News 25 has a part 2 to this event.
You may have noticed that there's a bell up here, and the tolling of the bell is not just a reflection of sound, but it's a reflection of our history and dynamics within our country. It's a symbol of freedom by the tolling of the bell, as evidenced by the Liberty Bell. It's also a paramount piece of the fire service. In the very early days of fire suppression, they would call their neighbors by using a bell on properties and to alert that there is an emergency ongoing in the cities or towns across the country. It was then used as a tolling device to request firefighters to respond. It was used as an early warning device in order to have the old carriages and the old steamers responding to a scene by the tolling of the bells mounted on the apparatus. Today, it has a much more meaningful aspect to it, and that is that when a firefighter loses their life in the line of duty, there's the tolling of the bells. In New York City specifically, there's the tolling of the 5 5s. So there's a series of 5 bells in succession, followed by the announcement of the firefighter's death, the location of the incident where it occurred, and the nature of the event that caused the loss of life. So as you're here today and you hear the tolling of the bells after each of the specific events related to World Trade Centers in Washington, D.C., please remember the meaning of the bell, not just as a noise, but also as a reflection of what our commitment is to our communities, our country, and also to our service. I'd like to have each of our emergency responders come up today, introduce themselves. These are the people that are out there responding to your emergencies 24/365. Whether it's on holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, they are there. They are the first to arrive, they're there, they're trained, and they're there to perform the tasks. So I'd like each of them to come up, introduce themselves, and then we'll give them a robust round of applause afterwards.
Giovanni Ruiz. County Sheriff's Office, and I've been a police officer for 3 years.
Deputy Ramos, Nye County Sheriff's Office, working on my 10th year. Did 6 years on SWAT. I'm in charge of Honor Guard, and I'm also a field training officer at the Nye County Sheriff's Office. And a former Marine, and I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York.
Anyway, my name is Maddie Miller, and I've been with Search and Rescue for 17 years.
My name is Christopher Horowitz. I'm a firefighter with Pahrump Fire, and I'm in my 5th year currently right now.
Hello everybody, I'm Deputy David Diaz. I've been with the Nye County Sheriff's Office about 3 years now. Patrol deputy and also some resource officer, and did a little time with SWAT as well. So.
Well, coming up in sports this Sunday, the Raiders have one of those brunch games. They're on the East Coast. Mikey has all the details.
It is time for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV. And now on Roku devices, Las Vegas Aviators picked up another victory last night against the Albuquerque Isotopes. 8-6, rematch 5:05. Las Vegas Aces are in Indiana. They're trying to fight off the fever right now. That match is in progress.
And Sunday.
Raiders, Ravens, Game 2 of the season, 10 a.m. Pahrump Valley Trojans football, JV started at 4 p.m. Varsity starts at 7. They're facing Slam Academy for Friday the 13th night football. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you very much, Mikey. Kaylee's coming up in a bit with your cool down of a weather forecast. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. 2 Pahrump Valley High School seniors have been selected as semifinalists to a prestigious merit scholarship that will set them up for the rest of their educational career if they win. News 25 has more.
Pahrump Valley High School is thrilled to announce that 2 of its exceptional seniors, Wolf Beckley and Sasha Strain, have been honored as semifinalists in the prestigious 2025 National Merit Scholarship Program. This elite recognition places them at the top 1% of high school seniors nationwide, highlighting their outstanding academic achievements and potential for success in higher education. The National Merit Scholarship, which was established in 1955, annually recognizes students who demonstrate exceptional academic ability and promises for future success. Semifinalists are based off of their scores on the preliminary SAT or the National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. To advance to the finalist stage, Wolf and Sasha will need to complete and submit a comprehensive scholarship application, which includes details about their academic records, extracurricular activities, leadership experiences, and community service. Additionally, they must write an essay and achieve competitive ACT or SAT scores that affirm their initial test performance. Desiree Velos, principal of Pahrump Valley High School, expresses her pride in the students, saying that we are incredibly proud of Wolf and Sasha for their remarkable accomplishments. Their dedication to academic excellence and personal growth amplifies the spirit of our school community. We wish them the best as they continue in this competition, and we are confident that this is just the beginning of their journey towards excellence. The winners of these awards will be announced in spring of 2025. Pahrump Valley High School and the Nye County School District extend their heartfelt congratulations to both Wolf and Sasha and eagerly anticipate celebrating their future successes.
Okay, let's go on over to the radio side, and here's Mikey to tell us what's cooking this Sunday morning on Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio and streaming on Channel 25.8, now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
Howdy. When I'm not out baling hay or feeding the chickens, my ears are glued to the all-new Ace Country Radio app. You can listen to it too by downloading it today for free. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast, born on September 12th, George Jones will pay tribute to him. Born on September 14th, friend of the show, John Barry. We'll celebrate him. And born on September 15th, Roy Acuff. We'll pay tribute to him. In the Not an Oldie But a Goodie segment, we'll hear from Serena Wages about her latest album, Vanity Project. Danny Stefanati calls the show to talk about her musical journey from Australia to America. Also, 12-year-old singer-songwriter Josie Sal calls the show to talk about her new single, a cover of Black Velvet.
It was too low for me, but I loved the song. It was on replay all the time. I always listened to it. And after my voice changed, it was like, I listened to it all the time, so I knew it like the back of my hand. And after my voice changed, I was singing it in the car one day, and I was like, wait a second, I can sing it.
Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio, streaming at KPVM.TV, channel 25.8, and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam. A beautiful day. The wind has picked up here in Pahrump. That's right outside the television studios here, Mount Charleston. Now, just on cue, the Fall Festival rolling in next week. The weather will be fall-like.
Good evening, Nevada. I'm Kaylee Bentler in the News 25 Weather Studios. Happy Friday the 13th. Starting off with some regional weather up in Fernley, we're at 81 degrees, Fallon at 82, Carson City 82 as well, Weather Twins, Tonopah at 80, Goldfield 83, Beatty at 91, Amargosa 96, Las Vegas 96 as well, another Weather Twins, and Death Valley at 106. But in the paradise of Pahrump, we're currently at 93 degrees and sunny. We saw a high earlier of 95 degrees, winds in the south-southwest 10 miles per hour, humidity at 8%, and the sun rose at 6:25 and will set this evening at 6:53. Expect humidity at 17%, winds east-southeast 7 miles per hour with a low of 68 and clear skies. As for the rest of the week, we have a lot of wind coming up here over the weekend. The sun will be out, but 13-mile-per-hour winds on Saturday, 95 degrees. Sunday, 20-mile-per-hour winds at 93. And then Monday, 22-mile-per-hour winds with the sunshine out. Take a look at that temp, 77 degrees. And the wind is slowing down throughout the week. Wednesday, we're seeing some partial clouds rolling in at 79 degrees and 14-mile-per-hour winds. And then those clouds are going away slowly by Thursday. Sunshine is back out on Friday at 84 degrees. And that's your look at the weather. Back to the desk. Here's Chris.
Thank you very much. Kaylee, 76 on Friday. I don't even know where my turtleneck is. I exaggerate only slightly. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Palermo. Make it a great night.